there and do that. Tomorrow's kind of the opening ceremony thing. There's some speakers and things like that. Saturdays, there's several different sessions you can choose from. You have to register for both days. So if you want to go tomorrow night, register for tomorrow, and then Saturday, register again. And it's kind of a good way to, I guess, somebody said test drive a district conference without putting the money out to stay someplace. You can just do it on your screen and bounce in and out of it. The District 50/50 Membership Committee is going to host a new member event called Getting the Most Out of Rotary for new members in our area on Wednesday, May 26th, starting at 7 p.m. Past District Governor Dennis Boyd will be directly inviting the new members. And when we say new members, these are people that have joined from January of 2020 on. And then past District Governor Brad Whitaker will be leading the presentation and discussion. So you new members, look for that. It will be coming out soon. Auction update. Tim, you got anything you want to say?
Everybody that's got a task is working on it. Things are moving along. We're going to have more news in a week or so. A couple of reports are still pending. And again, donations are the key to making the auction work. So get your donations in and work together to come up with some good ones, and we'll go from there. Perfect.
So yes, get your auction items in. That is, we're going to keep harping on that for the next several months. I don't know whether you all saw the chat from Becky. I guess the new member thing has been changed to June 2nd, and she just found that out. So look for that. Patrick's Playground. I actually have a few pictures to show. Let me get out of here and find them. Okay, these were taken by Mark Nilsson, and just 3 of them, but this shows what's going on out there right now. It's an overhead shot. So we're making progress. And that's all of them. So anyway, that gives you an idea. Tim or anybody else that's been working out there, you have anything else you want to share about what's going on? What I know is they're right now at a point where they can't really have a lot of people out there, but they will be probably mid-June looking for bodies to get out there and spread bark and do a lot of little detail work. But they are working out there every morning for 4 or 5 hours, and they're getting an awful lot done. So it's looking good. Are either Rich or Phil? Rich, you're on here. You want to say anything about your survey? Are you getting any results from anybody?
It's miserable. 10 people, no 11 as of now. So if you want any input on what we're going to do, I guess you probably should get the survey in, or if you want any ideas of what committees you might want to be on, please let me know. Otherwise, I'll just have to make arbitrary decisions.
There you go. Okay, so you guys are here. I mean, your task for this afternoon is when you get off this call is go find that survey. Rich, do we need to send it out again maybe to everybody? But go find it, get it filled out, get it back to them. That's your job for this afternoon. Becky, Scrindy, do you want to say anything about the Helping Hands fundraiser?
We're plugging away. All ads are in. We're going to press on Monday for the program, and then we're going to continue to, we're selling tickets. We only have 4 of the Elite VIP left, only 6 of the VIP left, and then I think it's like 20 of the general admission. So they're selling fast, and it's still going to be fun, and we're getting the videos all put together. We have a large group of leaders in our community that are helping out, putting a really great video of what leadership means to them, and I'm excited to see how that all turns out. So it's going really well. So thank you.
And anybody, if you would like to volunteer the night of the event to help out doing whatever, talk to Becky and she'll get you fixed up. And Remember, Helping Hands always accepts donations. Okay, a couple new events, some social events have been added to our calendar. You should have gotten emails, but on Thursday, May 27th at 4 o'clock at the local 20 in Sedro Woolley, they're having a get together to have a sip and say hello. And then on Friday, May 28th at 6 o'clock at Bingham Park, there's going to be pizza in the park. Bring your family. Let Sheena know if you're going to come, how many of you are going to come. That way she can get enough pizza for everybody. And then finally, the last announcement I have, Carl Garrison, you're on this call, aren't you? There you are.
Yeah.
I received in the mail this thing I'm going to show Carl here. And Carl, I will drop this by your office in the next day or two. But our club does Paul Harris Awards. We treat them a little differently than most clubs. Paul Harris Awards can be given in a couple of different ways. One of them is them being awarded by a club, which we do. And the other way you can earn a Paul Harris Award is by donating $1,000 to the Rotary Foundation. Carl Garrison has received a Paul Harris Award. He's a Paul Harris Fellow from our club. He was awarded that several years ago. I'll just say several. But then Carl has also really continued to support the Rotary Foundation. So I received, and hopefully you guys can all see this, it's a Paul Harris Fellow Award with a little sapphire at the bottom of it. And this symbolizes that Carl is a Paul Harris Fellow +6, which means he has earned 6 additional Paul Harris Awards by donating them to the Rotary Foundation. So congratulations, Carl. Thank you for doing that.
Well, and get used to it because I don't intend to quit. I want to get at least 10 of them.
Good for you. Good for you. Okay. Are there any other announcements? Speak up quickly. Okay. Anybody happy out there? Somebody's got to be happy.
Well, I'm happy. Hey, woohoo!
Send some money.
Way to go.
Carl, are you going to be at your office tomorrow during the day?
I should be, yes.
Okay.
We may have a small fire going. I'm going to burn all the weeds out, and hopefully I don't burn the town down. We'll see.
Okay, I'll probably swing by. Anybody else happy? Jeff, are you happy? Jeff McCann's happy.
I am. I'm going to be sending out the scholarship letters today. We're giving out $40,000 to, I think, 13 students from Sedro Woolley and 2 from Concrete. And hopefully we'll find a time to see if we can get them on a Zoom or do something, because we haven't been able to have last year's students or this year's students obviously come to a meeting. So I will probably send out a list of the winners maybe next week after hopefully they've received their letters, so that way the students get their letters before it's sent out to the world. But yeah, so good job. Let's go raise the money so that the checks don't bounce.
There we go. Well, and thank you, Jeff, and your committee for all the hard work on pulling that together. Sandra Jensen, you had your hand up.
I do, yes. So today, Skagit County has a drop-in vaccination clinic, and my 14-year-old Darian, who will be the last member of my family to start his vaccination process. So I am incredibly happy. Tell me how to Venmo you some happy bucks and I will do that.
Somebody who knows Venmo, get with Sandra and tell her how to do it. Who else is happy?
I'll show her. She's
David
right next door to me, and I'm happy too.
David?
I'll Venmo some money to the Rotary Club for this past amazing weekend celebrating Blake Gurney's graduation. In less than 2 weeks, he'll be on the road to Virginia to start his career with the Sigma Phi Epsilon fraternity as a regional director. And I'm just a proud guy. He was my 40th birthday present, and it was the best present ever. So that's it.
Wonderful. Anybody else happy? Speak up.
I'm happy because it's my birthday, and I mean, it's a great day because of that. But much like Sandra, I'm very excited because we're planning on going to the drop-in vaccine clinic with Shelby, and she'll be the last one in our family also to get at least her first dose of the vaccine, and we are ecstatic. And that is the best birthday present, honestly, I could ask for.
Wonderful. Well, I'll throw some happy bucks out there. Daryl, we'll get to you just
That's
a minute
fine.
to see you there. I got to spend, well, if you were on the meeting, the call last week, you know I was down in Reno and coming, it was 80 degrees. It was beautiful. I mean, it was my daughter's, granddaughter's first birthday. And we had a wonderful time down there. It was great to be away. So I'm happy for that. Daryl, go ahead.
Have to express my happiness, I guess, in that we've been shut in for so long. I had an opportunity of spending a week in California in the sunshine for a while, and then 2 weeks just got back from Utah. I was visiting with two of our daughters, granddaughters, and great grandchildren, and it was a great trip and an opportunity. And two of my granddaughters are in the process of publishing books that they've written. And so it's been an enjoyable last month.
Wonderful. A great way to do it. Carl.
Hey, Mike, I am extra happy today because I was listening to the news and they said just an hour ago that the CDC is suggesting that we can now take our masks off in public, indoors and out, if we are vaccinated. And I heard that coming back from getting my second shot. So it's pretty cool. Let's hope it takes off and we can actually get rid of these dang things.
Really? I hadn't heard that. That's big news if it's going to come to be. Yeah.
We just
Cool.
got an email from our CEO that we're working on attestations because of that news, so that staff in building don't have to wear masks if fully vaccinated because of the new guidance. So, yay.
Cool. Any other happiness out there? Well, I'm not seeing anybody, so we're going to move on. Christina Trader is going to give us a short presentation here, talk about what the Boys and Girls Club is doing as far as a grant they're trying to get. So Christina, it's yours.
Thank you. And Mike, we have 7 more meetings as presidents. And in 7 meetings, I can join the greatest Rotary in the world and come to Sedro Woolley officially. So I'm really excited. But the Boys and Girls Club of Skagit County has been working with the Department of Commerce on an early learning grant that we were awarded. And it is a feasibility study for early learning childcare within the community of Sedro Woolley. We are wrapping up our study and finding that even if we had a building with 150 spots for early learning, we would still not have enough childcare in the city of Sedro Woolley. And so we are actually working with the Department of Commerce. They've approached us with all of our amazing work that we've done about funding an additional 2 years worth of the project so that we can work towards opening that early learning center and maybe possibly even building a new building for Boys and Girls Club in Sedro Woolley. I wanted to give everybody a shout out and say thank you for your support and everything that you're doing within the community. We could not continue our great work at the Boys and Girls Club without our community support. But we are moving forward, and hopefully in the next year or two, we are expanding to a Discovery Center and new building. So thank you.
Wonderful. That's really good news. Keep us in the loop. Let us know how it's all going and anything we can do to help out. So moving on to our programs, we're going to have a couple of new member talks today. The first one, we're going to go ahead and let Mr. Pat Eason start.
Okay. Thank you, Mike. Good afternoon, everybody. I've met some of you before, so some of you know me a little bit. But my background is I was born in Texas because my dad was stationed there while he was in the Air Force, but both parents are from the area. My mom's family are longtime Conway residents. My grandfather coached Little League out there for about 20 years between the 60s and the 80s. So we moved back to the area when I was 7 years old, and I did 2nd through 8th grade at Conway school, but then my family moved to Bellingham just before my freshman year of high school. So I graduated from Bellingham High School and then did 2 years at Skagit, did 2 years at Western, like some of our club members. and graduated from there, and then did law school at Seattle University, where I met my future wife, Rochelle. When we got together, we had 2 children that were 6 and 4 at the time, and I have since adopted those 2. And then we have 4 children together. By the end of the calendar year, my oldest daughter will be 30. She's a teacher at Lake Washington School District right now. My oldest son is 28. He is a warehouse manager at a sporting goods company just outside of Puyallup. Right now I have 3 20-somethings living with the wife and I, a 22-year-old daughter and 21-year-old twins who are doing some combination of Zoom school and working part-time. So we're all surviving right now. And then my youngest is a 10-year-old 4th grader at Big Lake. Got my first real legal job at the Mason County Prosecutor's Office, started inauspiciously on April the 1st of 1999. And that kind of was a preview of how things would go down there, a little hectic. Got hired by the Skagit County Prosecutor's Office in December 2000. So our family moved up back to the county at that point. At first we lived out in Bow, but then we moved to Big Lake in 2003. And since they're all 6 kids attended Big Lake, Cascade Middle School, and Sedro Woolley High School. I left the county prosecutor's office in 2003 and joined my wife, Rochelle, in private practice. She still maintains that practice here in Mount Vernon, where she practices domestic law, does some probate, and does some bankruptcies. While I was in private practice with her, I practiced criminal law and also did some domestic law. In 2004, I was fortunate enough to get the contract to be the prosecutor for the city of Mount Vernon. Mayor Norris was the one who chose me, and then Mayor Boudreau was kind enough to keep me on when she came into office. In 2013, the city took me in-house, and right now, like most of the courts in our county, we're having a number of challenges with the criminal justice system. We're going to have a pretty big backlog that we're going to need to work through here because of COVID. The last jury trial we did over at the city of Mount Vernon was in February of 2020. March 2020, we did bring someone over for the jail and had a jury there, but he was essentially playing COVID jury chicken to see if we'd get enough people to show up, and we did. And then he pled guilty morning of, and then we haven't had a jury trial since then. Right now, I know over in county, Rich's office has done some, I think 3 now jury trials in Superior Court, and we're looking like we might get started in either June or July. Right now, most of our hearings are on Zoom, with some things being done in person, but we're all going to have our work cut out for us working through the backlog, and I'm thinking it's going to take at least a year and a half to do that. My hobbies are I'm an avid reader, I'm a sports fan, and my services as a dad taxi have declined now that after driving around those kids for about 20 years, but with just one to drive around, it's quite a reduction in the duties. I wanted to join Rotary because I wanted to become a member for some time because I felt like I could be doing more to contribute to the community. I'd kind of been an unofficial member of my wife's club. She's in the Mount Vernon afternoon club in Mount Vernon, but felt like I should be doing more and wanted to branch out to Sedro Woolley since we're members of both communities. And I want to thank everybody for giving me that opportunity to join this club. Thanks.
Great. Thanks, Pat. And what he failed to mention is he lives in a neighborhood with some pretty nice people. I mean, I'm just going to throw that out there.
I have an outstanding neighbor about a block away who's a community leader and led the Big Lake auction for a number of years when his kids were coming through.
I couldn't resist.
I should have thrown you in up top, Mike. I'm sorry.
There you go. Thanks, Pat. Okay, well, next up, we've got our own Rebecca Scrindy, director of the food bank. Now, she's created a PowerPoint presentation, which I got to go out here and find, and I'm going to share that with you. So let me get rid of those. And
I kind of feel like I'm too boring to just talk without pictures. So and I've got some cute family members, so I thought I would just do a quick kind of who I am. And next slide, please, Mike.
Okay.
So I was born and raised in Mount Vernon. My grandparents immigrated from Holland here. So you can see I'm also a twin. If you can see on the left, that's our kindergarten picture. That must have been a really rough day. And then I graduated from Mount Vernon, same year as the spinach bus crew. They're on the right side in that big pile of seniors right there. So have a long legacy here in Skagit County. Next. And then after high school, I didn't really, I'm not really great at grades in school. So I did go to Skagit because I played softball. I did a lot of sports in high school. And so I walked on at Skagit to play a year there. And I knew I wasn't really going anywhere. I felt like I needed to do something else. So I chose to go in the military in '95. That picture on the left is my basic training. You can see how tired I am, look. And then the one in the middle is my graduation from basic training in Texas. And then the one on the right is my re-enlistment after 4 years. I re-enlisted when I was in Saudi Arabia. So that's that kind of from a baby to moving on. So I did spend a lot of time working with fighter pilots and aircrew members. And my last duty assignment was down in training for the future fighter pilots. So the guys coming out of the academies and learning how to fly. So I was always around aircrew. Can you do the next one? So on the left, that's my first deployment to Saudi Arabia. We were not during Gulf War. I was in the basic training during the Gulf War, but we did Operation Southern Watch. So we were keeping the Iraqis out of foreign countries. And on the right side, the black and white picture, I won an award in Alaska as the non-commissioned officer of the year. So they allowed me to fly in an F-15 over the Grand Canyon, and it was just kind of an amazing opportunity. Yes, I threw up the entire time, but they told me I had to do it because it was a once in a lifetime opportunity. And the pilot I happened to fly with is General Goldfein, and his brother was the last Air Force Chief of Staff. So he was awesome to fly with. And in the middle is when I left the military. Those were my ranks and my medals. I was really fortunate to go all over the world, from Turkey to Saudi Arabia to lots of Asian countries. And I got out of the military because I had a baby, and they wanted to send me a year to Korea without him. And he was 3 years old, and I just couldn't see myself leaving him for that long. So then I went into a kind of next phase and came back here as a single mom, and worked down in Everett by Boeing for 6 years, and then worked at Sickle Steel for a little while, and then came to the food bank. Let's see, go to the next one, please. So family's pretty important to me. I've only been married since February 2020, yes, like 3 weeks before COVID hit. We have combined our family. I'm married to Steve Scrindy, who works at Skolton's Equipment. He is a tractor mechanic. He drives around all over the county in Snohomish and fixes everybody's tractors. And so we blended our family, and we have 5 kids and a grandbaby and another baby on the way. Next. So here's just some kind of embarrassing pictures, and I made sure the one on the right, she's a sophomore here in Sedro Woolley, and I wanted to embarrass her greatly, so I made sure that one got in there. Next.
Whoops, not too far.
Yeah, go back.
More.
Go back.
I'm trying, it won't let me go back. Oh, okay, hang on. found
Okay.
it down here. Get this thing out of the way. Okay, there you go.
And there's just more of the kids, and we live on a 20-acre farm on Grip Road. So we're farmers and payers, and we're just fixing up a farm probably for the rest of our lives. Next. In 2016, I was awarded the Skagit Woman of the Year, and in 2014, I was in the Best Leadership Skagit class, and luckily I was with Danny Russell. That's where we met, and it was an awesome class. And I learned a lot about Skagit County and how to give back, and you know, really decided at that point I wasn't at Helping Hands, and I didn't go to Helping Hands until 2015. But that's really where I got my passion to do more than a job, but to really look at nonprofits and my skill set that I had. Next. My hobbies are photography and painting, and I am not good at it, but I do love it. So I try really hard. Next, please. And I'm also like to write. I just finished a kid's book for my granddaughter called, it's about a cow who's just weird and unique, but he's funny and everybody loves him. So it's kind of fun. Next. So for work, obviously I'm the executive director at Helping Hands. I've been here 6 years. I really truly believe it's a calling, and I feel blessed that the community allows me to be here. I'm just waiting for that day that they kick me out and say we found somebody better to do the job. But until that happens, I will continue to do my best. And you know, the future of Helping Hands is about being a voice for those people who are need better access to food, and that's what I'm going to continue to do. And the last one. So for me, what's next is, again, working on advocacy and policy and kind of coming up with ways to help our community in different ways. And but that's kind of me in a nutshell.
Okay.
Thanks, Mike.
Yeah, well, thank you, Becky. Does anybody have any quick questions for either Becky or Pat? That was easy. Well, thank you, thank you. Next week, our speaker will be Alan Stockbridge of the Passport Northwest Rotary Club, who will be talking about the Green Bag Food Drive program. And this is a way that we can possibly support Helping Hands all year long by just taking on a very simple project. But he will be talking to us about that. We'll also be celebrating anniversaries next week and maybe Student of the Month. I'm not sure about Student of the Month. Get your auction items in, people. Get your surveys filled out. Those are your jobs today. Get out there and do this stuff. And get signed up for the District 5050 virtual conference if you've got time this Friday and Saturday. So if nobody's got anything else, I'm going to end with a story today rather than a quote or something like that. But a senior citizen drove his brand new Corvette convertible out of the dealership. Taking off down the road, he floored it to 80 miles an hour, enjoying the wind blowing through what little gray hair he still had left. Amazing, he thought, as he flew down I-94, pushing the pedal down even more. Looking in the rearview mirror, he saw a state trooper behind him, lights flashing, sirens blaring. He floored it to 100. He hit 110, and then he got up to 120. And then he suddenly thought, what am I doing? I'm too old for this, and pulled over to await the trooper's arrival. Pulling in behind him, the trooper walked up to the Corvette, looked at his watch, and said, "Sir, my shift ends in 30 minutes. Today's Friday. If you can give me a reason for speeding that I've never heard before, I will let you go." The old gentleman paused. Then he said, "Years ago, my wife ran off with a state trooper, and I thought you were bringing her back." "Have a good day, sir," replied the trooper. And with that, I'm calling this meeting to an end. You guys all have a good Thursday, a good weekend. Go get some auction items. Bye.